Hi folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for York region in particular. I'm going to focus on Vaughan and Richmond Hill, detached and condo market. Sales are down for the detached market. We'll talk about why in a second. Okay, so sales are down. Let's get right into it. I've got Vaughan behind me here, just detached. I'm going to talk about detached for Vaughan and then for Richmond Hill. Okay, so here are sales. We sold 59 detached properties in Vaughan last week for week ending May the 12th. Now we'll get back to that in a second. Average sold price has gone up to 1,700 and almost 25, 1,725 almost. Well, when we take a step back and we look at sales, it's pretty clear to see that compared to October, November last year, we are much higher when it comes to sales. It's clear. So sales are up 100, 150,000 from October, November last year. Fast forward 6 months, detached properties are selling on average for 100 to 150,000 more. When we look at just this year, and we'll get past the first few weeks of January because end of January, first couple weeks of January, people trying to figure things out. It's really tough to look at those numbers as being, real serious numbers. But when we go into kind of middle of January onward, if you really, really look at it, it's tough to say that average sold price has gone up or it's gone down. There's a window, I would say, of just over, 1,630,000 to 1,730,000. There's a $100,000 window. Although week by week prices have been fluctuating, overall though, average sold price has been pretty steady all year round so far for this year. But look at sales. 59 were sold. And we've done in November we were in the 50s, and March we were at 70, 80, 90, and now we're doing 59 sales in 1 week. What's going on? Where's the spring market in Vaughan? It's not on the board here, and I'm recording everything that's being bought and sold through the Toronto Real Estate Board. Compared to last year, difficult to do that. We know the situation we're in with the health crisis a year ago. Here's sales. Of the 59, 54% sold at list price or more. So a little bit more than half, which might sound like, wow, half the properties are selling at list price or more. Might sound pretty good. However, we were sitting in the high 70s just in March, and now we're mid 50s. The week before was actually at 50%, now we're at 54%. Listings have gone up quite a bit from where they have been the last couple of weeks, where we listed 138 detached properties in Vaughan. That brings active listings up a little bit. And active listings is a combination of, active listings directly translated is right at the end, midnight, May 12th, at the end of the week, how many properties are actually available for sale. So that takes into account properties that haven't sold over the previous weeks, new listings that are still on the market that were not sold during the week. And when we compare that to the rate that we are buying at, gives us a months of inventory of 1.4, which is up from the previous week. And 1.4, we had in April 1.4, but it's been a long time that we've seen a 1.4 months of inventory. Now, usually when months of inventory goes up, average sold price tends to come down. This is still very much a strong seller's market. It's just a little bit calmer than what it was back in March. Average sold price did go up. We would have expected it maybe to level off a little bit or come down. So sometimes there's a week delay, but this is not an exact science. We'll see what happens over the next week or so. Looking at Richmond Hill, 37 detached homes were sold last week. That's it, 37. When we look back to November, December, we were doing the same in December, where it was 35, 40. These are like winter sales right here. 37 only. And when we look at March, we're at 50, 70. Only 37 were sold. 11 were sold at $2 million or more. Now, looking at average sold price, we're just under 1.9. Like, wow, that's a high average sold price. When we compare October, November last year, fast forward 6 months to now, it's clear. Average sold price is way higher than where we were 6 months ago. When we look at kind of past the first few weeks in the new year, it's also different than Vaughan. Vaughan kind of seemed to plateau. This here in Richmond Hill, you can see that average sold price has been going up over the course of this year alone. This is the numbers compared to last year. Now, I could sensationalize, I could use clickbait and talk about, wow, we're 49% higher than last year's average sold price. Means absolutely nothing. Health crisis last year, nobody knew what was going on. So any kind of numbers you hear compared to last year and they're trying to sensationalize the number, switch the channel right away. It makes no sense to compare to last year. When we look at the sales of 37, 62% were sold at list price or more. And listings, we listed 94. It's a little bit less than what we've listed over the last few weeks. And months of inventory sitting at 2.3. Listings seem kind of normal, sales quite low. So at that rate that we're buying, if we continue to buy at that rate, that's why months of inventory has gone up from the previous week. But average sold price did go up quite a bit. Let's look at condos. Now, there's not a lot of condo sales, and one or two condos priced one way or another can really affect the overall average. But looking at the condo market, this is for Vaughan. 22 condos were bought for week ending May 12th. Now, 22 is kind of seems like an average number that through almost all of April. That's kind of where we were sitting at 20 and 21. Now we're at 22. Average sold price is sitting at $660,000. And when we compare to last year, October, November, fast forward 6 months from now, we're higher. You could see that average sold price has gone up, not by a lot. If we kind of look here, sitting at average of just shy of 6, I would say 560 to 590. Now we're at 660, before 660, 647, 665. So we're 60, 70, 80,000 higher than where we were 6 months ago. And compared to this year, it's also, since the beginning of the year, average sold price has been going up about 40 or 50,000 over the course of this year alone. So condos in Vaughan have been going up, average sold price. I don't want to compare it to last year at this time. The 22 that were bought this year, 46% sold at list price or more, and that's down quite a bit. We've been as high as 70, 68, 79, and over the last 4 weeks, it's been going down week after week to where we're now 46% of those sold at list price or more. Listings, there's not too many weeks where this year we've listed less than what we listed last year at this time. If you remember the condo market last year, tons of properties were coming on the market. Well, last year we listed 39, this year 36. There are a total of 99 condos available for sale as of midnight, May the 12th. And months of inventory sitting at 1. Months of inventory is a little bit lower than what it was the previous week, and helps a little bit to understand why average sold price has gone up. Richmond Hill. Sales are at 19. Only 19 condos in all of Richmond Hill were sold last week. Now 19 is about as high as any week. If we look back, we're going back about 8 months. You know, we've had 20 and 22s this year, a whole bunch of 20s. 19 is one of the higher weeks. It's one of our better weeks as far as sales, going back almost a year. Looking at average sold price is a whole different picture though. Compared to where we were October, November last year, fast forward to today, we're over 100,000 more for the average condo sold in Richmond Hill. Just this year alone, you could see the average price of condos in Richmond Hill going up. This is compared to last year. I sound like a broken record. We're really not comparing to last year. Of the 19 that were sold, 63% sold at list price or more. 33 were listed, and months of inventory sitting at 0.7, and it's kind of stayed pretty low, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.7 over the last month and a half or so. Here's a summary of these 4 home types. So detached for Vaughan and Richmond Hill, months of inventory has gone up from the previous week. For Vaughan condo, months of inventory has come down, and Richmond Hill condos has stayed the same. You know, overall, months of inventory, it's still a very tight market. It's still very much a seller's market. My name is Santo Sessa. I'm with Remax Premier. If you need help with any of your real estate needs, I am a full-time realtor. My team and I are ready to help you. Give us a call. My phone number is either below, above. You could reach us anytime. Have a great day.